Alicia Andrews helped Foolio's ops kill him and went to trial before any of the shooters. She was laughing and putting on makeup when the trial started, but nobody knew how crazy the situation was about to get. The prosecution kicked off the case by explaining the brutal hit on Foolio. They broke down how the shooter stalked Foolio on his birthday and set up an ambush with rifles and a Glock with a switch, so Foolio didn't have any chance of making it out alive.
All of that gunfire filling the dark, early morning hours with booming concussion and bright, flashing muzzle flashes as these high-pressured and high-powered rounds flooded the atmosphere in front of that Dodge Charger.
Alicia Andrews wasn't one of the shooters who actually pulled the trigger, but she still got charged with murder because she helped set the whole thing up. And one of the craziest things about the situation is that Alicia Andrews was pregnant when she went on the crash out and ended up having a baby while she was in jail. Alicia and her boyfriend Isaiah Chance were following Foolio around in Tampa and letting the shooters know what Foolio's moves were like. Alicia and Isaiah were the ones who spotted Foolio sitting outside a hotel in his whip, and then a few seconds later, the shooters pulled up and killed him. The shooters were spraying like crazy, and when you see what Foolio's whip looked like after the hit went down, it's clear that there was no way Foolio was going to make it out of the situation alive. When the shooters pulled up, Foolio was kicked back in the passenger seat with his feet up on the dash. Then the bullets started flying, and Foolio tried to climb into the back seat, but he got hit with a 5.56 round to the chest that went straight through his heart. Foolio was still trying to crawl away, but then he caught 2 more shots in the back, and one of them went into his liver. The hit on Foolio was sloppy, but the crew had been planning it for a while, and Alicia Andrews helped him get an Airbnb in Tampa. Sean Gathright was one of the shooters on the hit, and the cops found security footage found in his own home that showed Isaiah Chance and Gathright loading up huge bags in their whips before they drove to Tampa to kill Foolio. All of them were caught on cameras, license plate readers, and cell phone towers going from Jacksonville to Tampa, and Alicia was even spotted going to McDonald's in Tampa just a few hours before they killed Foolio. Alicia's lawyer started off the trial and claimed that she had no idea who the other shooters in the case were. According to the lawyer, Alicia was just on a weekend trip with her boyfriend Isaiah Chance and didn't know they were in Tampa to kill Foolio. It was clear from the jump that Alicia's story was capped, but nobody knew how wild the trial was going to get and how bad the state was about to cook her. The first witness was a woman who was at the hotel when Foolio got killed. She was hanging out with Foolio's crew that night and had gone inside the hotel to use the bathroom, and that's the only reason she didn't get caught up in the shooting. What's crazy about the situation is that the witness used to date one of Young and Ace's brothers, Trayvon, back in the day. Trayvon got killed right in front of Ace, and the witness ended up rocking with Foolio's side later on. Then one of Alicia's best friends took the stand, and the trial really started to go left for Alicia. The prosecutors brought out some texts Alicia sent to her friend back in 2021, where she was saying that 1200 and ATK needed to be sliding and killing more of their ops.
Go retaliate or something. They're sitting up here rapping, but that's y'all homeboy. Just do what y'all gotta do.
Alicia's defense team tried to make it sound like she didn't know anything about the war in the streets, but her own homie switched up on her and proved that was all cap. And then another text message from 2021, Alicia texted her friend and said she couldn't stand Foolio and said that he needed to die.
Girl, I don't like Foolio. Ugly ass. He need to die.
One of Alicia's homies had just been killed in ATK and 1200's war with 6 Block, and Alicia knew everything that was going on. The shooters put in a lot of work to catch Foolio lacking, but what's wild is how dumb they were on the crash out. One of the shooters tried to run from the cops and got tased, and when the cops started looking through phones, they found out that one of the shooters was texting his homies photos of the burner phone he bought for the hit. They even had pics of the guns they used to kill Foolio and didn't even delete it after the hit went down. The prosecutors wanted to prove that the murder was planned out and wasn't just a random hit, so they brought in a gang detective and he aired out the whole beef between Foolio's 6 Block and ATK and 1200. Alicia Andrews wasn't dropping diss tracks, but the cops proved she knew everyone who was involved with the war, and they aired out how ATK and 1200 had already tried to kill Foolio a few different times. Sean Gathright is one of the shooters who killed Foolio in Tampa, but he also shot Foolio in the foot a year before. ATK also caught Foolio lacking in Houston and almost shot him in the head, and the state brought up Fast Money Goon's lyrics on the track Who I Smoke when he rapped, "I was lurking on his page and I caught him lacking in Houston. We let off shots, he got shot and went live. I was squeaking like, fuck man, that bitch ain't died." Then the prosecutors showed some of Foolio's music videos where he was dissing ATK and 1200's dead members with lines like, "Went out to eat on his birthday, 4 shot, 3 dead in the worst way. He kept dissing on me, now he's smoking 23. And the prosecutors also used Young and Ace's lyrics on the track Game Over to prove that ATK and 1200 were the ones who took Foolio out. Game Over dropped right after Foolio got killed, and Ace rapped, "Once 23 died inside my eyes, I lost my mind." karma do it all, I know get back do with time. 556 increased the murder rate. Another body on the way. Mask on, get up close. This is another closed case. Don Julio shots to the face. 5 in the morning, I got a call. What is this? Dead on the floor, dead on arrival, Mr. 6. Alicia's defense kept trying to say that even if she knew the shooters, that doesn't mean she was guilty. But she was all over security footage following Foolio around the night that he got killed. Alicia's team claimed that she didn't really know what her boyfriend and his homies were doing, but it turned out that Alicia had been DMing other ATK members on Instagram.
Was there evidence in Miss Andrews' phone of her communications with ATK Keese and direct messaging in the Instagram?
Yes, ma'am.
Was there screenshots of those communications between this defendant and ATK Keese in that device?
Yes, ma'am.
Alicia was even tapped in with Foolio's old homie K Shorty too, so it was clear she knew exactly what was going down in the streets. By that point, it was looking pretty obvious that Alicia was cooked, so her defense team tried to switch up the plan and attempted to throw another woman under the bus. One of the witnesses who was at the hotel when Foolio died was a woman named Aaliyah. Aaliyah's the one who dated Young and Ace's brother Trayvon back in the day, and Alicia's lawyers asked one of the detectives in the case if they ever investigated her because she had a motive to kill Foolio too.
You were aware that Aaliyah was with Charles Jones when he was shot and killed?
Yeah.
All right. And that was despite the fact that Aaliyah dated someone that Charles Jones rapped about killing.
Okay.
You aware of that?
Yeah.
The move didn't work out for him though, and the next evidence the state brought in against Alicia was even crazier. After the cops went through Alicia's phone, they found photos from outside one of the clubs Foolio went to the night that he got killed. Sean Gathrigh's phone had some wild evidence in it too. Rashad Murphy was one of the shooters on the hit, and after they killed Foolio, he used Sean Gathrigh's phone and told someone, "I'm coming home. My thirst is quenched. I love you, Murphy." Alicia Andrews and the whole crew was getting cooked like crazy. But during the trial, she kept on smiling and laughing while detectives broke down how she helped get Foolio killed. Alicia was helping Isaiah Chance follow Foolio around all over Tampa, and Alicia was sharing her location live to the whip full of shooters so they would know exactly where to pull up. Just a few minutes before the shooters showed up to the hotel and killed Foolio, Alicia sent them the live location, and that's how they caught Foolio lacking. Sean Gathright was also trying to set Foolio up with another woman that night. He was trying to find out where Foolio's Airbnb was, and Sean wanted a woman he knew to help him get the location. And those texts were just proof that the shooters were hunting Foolio down. During the trial, they played Alicia's first interview with the cops, and when the detectives showed Alicia that they had clear evidence she was at the hotel when Foolio got killed, Alicia just tried to laugh it off.
You were at the hotel where Foolio was murdered at the exact same time that he was murdered, okay? Sweetie, the reason we're showing...
The detectives laid out how they had Alicia's phone records, videos of her hunting Foolio, and knew all about Isaiah Chance's beef with Foolio and 6 Block, but Alicia still tried to play like she didn't know anything.
Just you gotta listen. Your whole life is
It looked like Alicia was just trying to protect Isaiah Chance because they were dating. One of the craziest things about the crash out is that Alicia was pregnant with Isaiah's kid while they were going to kill Foolio, and the detectives told Alicia that Isaiah was just using her.
If you think your boyfriend loves you, your boyfriend used you in this. He knew. He's smart on these things.
The detective straight up told Alicia Andrews that if she didn't work with them, then she might end up with a life sentence, but she still wouldn't give up any info on Isaiah or the shooters.
I can tell you right now, with the statement you're giving us, you're going to be in prison, and you're never going to come out of it. You're never going to see the outside of prison.
Alicia spent the whole police interview lying to them about things they already had evidence on, but during the trial, she got exposed on everything. And when Alicia got called up to testify, she switched up a little bit on Isaiah Chance and said he beat her. The jury was shown photos where Alicia's face was bruised after Isaiah put hands on her, and according to Alicia, Isaiah was using her phone during the hit on Foolio. She let him use it because she was afraid of him. Isaiah Chance definitely abused Alicia, but that's a totally different situation than what went down on the night that Foolio got killed. And it was clear from the jump that Alicia knew what was going on and why they made the trip to Tampa. Alicia was facing life in prison if she got convicted of murder, but she ended up catching a huge break in the case. Instead of going down for murder, the jury convicted Alicia on a manslaughter charge instead and found her not guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. But even though Alicia Andrews isn't going to get a life sentence, she could still end up doing decades behind bars. After the conviction came down, Foolio's mom said she was writing an impact statement for the judge and wants Alicia to get 15 years plus 10.
Give her the max. I'm writing my impact statement here to give her the max. Give her the max plus add 10 years onto it. Yeah. Let's do that.
15 is the maximum sentence for a manslaughter charge in Florida, but the judge could add more time on top of that if they want to. And Foolio's mom obviously wants Alicia to get the most time possible. Alicia got off pretty easy, but the situation is looking way worse for Isaiah Chance and the shooters who killed Foolio. They're all going to trial in 2026, and there's no telling what kind of evidence the state is going to bring against them.